disappointed are you that you will not be a 49er?
Not as disappointed as the 49ers will be that they didn't draft me.
I do not believe what I just saw. That was the most anxiety-ridden I think I've ever been watching a football game. The entire game felt claustrophobic, and I'm really surprised I made it to the end. I'm surprised that I survived watching that game. Aaron Rodgers, I will say this. He has helped the Niners in the playoffs more than any other quarterback the Niners have had in the last 20 years. Yes, Aaron Rodgers, 0-4 against the San Francisco 49ers in his career. And, well, I don't think he was necessarily the reason they lost the game. Obviously, big blame goes on their special teams there with the 2 block kicks. He's not the reason they would have won that game either. 20 for 29, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. The only touchdown score came on an A.J. Dillon run. Aaron Rodgers won't be in Green Bay next year. I think that's a good place to start. But let's talk about the 49ers. That defensive performance that they put out there, 5 sacks on Rodgers, not allowing the touchdown drive there in the second half. I think it came in the third quarter. It's kind of hard to remember where these things spot in the games, just like immediately reacting after the moment. But for them to hold the Packers to a field goal is what eventually set up them winning this game or being in a position to win the game. The block kick, I did not see that coming. Any Niners fan would tell you that our special teams unit was bound to be the downfall of this team, allowing big chunk returns, fake field goals, fake punts, overall bad special teams unit. And they come up huge. Jimmy Ward with the block field goal. Talanoa Hufanga scoring what would be a game-tying touchdown on the block punt. And then Robbie Gould, perfect postseason resume, drills a 45-yarder in the snow in Lambeau in mid-January. That's Vinatieri-esque. Yeah, I know everyone's going to want me to talk about Jimmy. Jimmy had a bad game. Jimmy was not great. But Jimmy made enough throws in that game to help the Niners win. And in fact, Jimmy wasn't even getting help early. His 0 for 4 start, his 0 for 5 start, 4 of those came on passes that hit the wide receiver in the hand. As much as I love George Kittle, that's a touchdown right there. That's one of those part the Red Sea type touchdowns that George let drop. In fact, he tried to catch it again and let it drop again. But here we are. Jimmy Garoppolo as the starter of the San Francisco 49ers, 15-4 as an underdog against the spread. That's still an impressive mark. I don't care. At a certain point, I think with a large enough sample size, quarterback wins do start to count a little bit more towards your stat line. And the Niners win with Jimmy Garoppolo under center. By hook or by crook, they win with Jimmy Garoppolo under center. You know who can't win? The Tennessee Titans with Ryan Tannehill. Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. Jimmy Garoppolo is still in the playoffs. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to his second NFC Championship in 3 years. And the 1 year in between was because he was injured the majority of it with a high ankle sprain. So give credit where credit is due, because with a lesser quarterback, they're not here. We saw that. Nick Mullins, CJ Beathard. The Niners can't win with anyone else that's not number 10 under center. DeMeco Ryans, talk about a impressive come up. Talk about coming a long way since week 3 when you allowed Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams to drive with 37 seconds left to beat you on a walk-off field goal. And here you are dominating Aaron Rodgers. Yes, the environments were there, but the environments were on both teams. Obviously, the Niners couldn't move offensively, but the Niners don't have one of the greatest quarterbacks of his generation. DeMeco Ryans and the defense came up big. You saw Josh Norman side in. Josh Norman lining up against Devontae Adams, the last thing a 49ers fan wants to see. And yet it worked out in the Niners' favor. I am blown away. The Niners are playing with house money at this point. The Niners could lose in the NFC Championship game and still feel like they had a winning season. Obviously, I don't want that. That's the last thing I want for this team. It's a heartbreaking thing to see your team lose this late in the postseason. That's why I think my heart was beating out of my chest watching every second of this game play out. And for it to end how it did in the final 7 minutes of the fourth quarter with some clutch plays by guys that you were least expecting. I got to give a shout out to Deebo Samuel here. Deebo fucking Samuel. He runs, he catches, he passes, he blocks, he returns punts, he returns kicks. What can't this man do? I'm convinced if Robbie Gould had an injury late, the Niners would go up to him and say, "Hey, Deebo, want to kick this field goal?" The man is the ultimate Swiss Army knife. There is not another player like him. There's not another player like Trent Williams. There's not another player like George Kittle. The Niners just have so many unique weapons at their disposal. And I think that's another argument against Jimmy. It's like, how can you have such a talented unit and not do more with them? Well, talk about doing more. You're in the NFC Championship game again. You're in the final 4 teams competing for a Super Bowl. Great coaching effort, great special teams, great defense. Offense made enough plays. Could have made more, but we're nitpicking. After a win, anything's nitpicking. I'm blown away. I didn't see the season coming, or at least didn't see it coming in this way. After 4 straight losses in the middle season, thinking Kyle Shanahan was on the hot seat, thinking Eric Armstead is overpaid. Eric Armstead, another guy I got to give love to. I felt his presence each one of the last 3 weeks in pivotal Niners games, winning the last game of the regular season against the Rams to make it to the playoffs, winning against the Dallas Cowboys, and then his sacks, actually, I should clarify, against Aaron Rodgers late in that game, the one to force the field goal and the one to force the punt that allowed the Niners to drive into field goal position. Phenomenal. Just phenomenal effort all around. I can't give enough flowers out for this team. And I don't want to feel cocky. Packers, you guys had an excellent season. I will feel a little cocky because definitely Packers media was a little bit confrontational at points. We'll say it, a little antagonistic. Look down on the 6th seed of the 49ers, who happened to, be again 4-0 against a guy who's perceived as an all-time great. Yeah, really making the Niners regret not drafting the great Aaron Rodgers. But that's a story for another pod. That's a story for another reaction. That's a story for another episode. And to check out that episode and check out more of my thoughts, definitely hit that subscribe button, folks. If you're a Niners fan, I got to see you like this video. I got to see those likes. I got to see those comments. Niners faithful, comment below. I need to know your thoughts. I need to know your game MVPs. I need to know your level of anxiety watching that game. Juju Tech Sports. Follow us on the Slumpbuster, at Slumpbuster Pod on Twitter, at Slumpbuster Podcast on Instagram. Like I said, subscribe. We're closing on 2,000 subscribers, and I want you guys along for the ride. And certainly, if this goes any further, we got to talk more Niners. We're going to have some great guests next week. I will see you next time. Stay safe, happy, and healthy.